Oh yes. So next one is Isaiah 66 and 15. It says
do you know there's like the 13 principles of faith?
Yeah.
Which don't remember. Annie Mermin, of course he knows it. Yeah. So if you find any of them, you're out.
But they don't. My daughter
They do because they don't believe that everybody. 66, gone.
Yeah, so it says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind,
When you say
to render his anger with fury and his rebuke."
verse?
15.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Right. You mean the religious?
Yeah. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Right.
So this where it said the Lord will come.
Right.
You know when it talks about the Son of Man in Daniel,
Right.
do you think it's that same one who God gave the authority?
Son of Man is talking about Messiah, is talking about God.
But do you think he'll be the same one who will be here coming with the sword and fire?
This is God. So I mean, when we're saying God's coming, it doesn't literally mean you'll see God. It means He's going to bring certain events, right? So yeah, it could be through this Son of Man. Yes.
But you're saying that he was, you think he's human,
Yes.
but do you think he would have a sword which will be able to do that sort of destruction and fire?
Right, again, this is already metaphorical. It's saying that at the end of days, when God does His final judgment, many cataclysmic events will happen. And fire and storms, it basically means very, very... it uses swords, it can mean guns, it just means warfare.
Because the only reason I mention is because when you read in Revelation, and it talks about obviously Jesus being the Son of God and have his glorified body, one of the things he had is the sword from his mouth.
Right.
So it describes like him in a position where he has the power to actually execute this particular.
Okay, I mean, again, that's the testimony of Revelations. Do you believe Revelations? Well, I don't. So.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that it's the only thing I've found like post the Old Testament, which gives you a good explanation of what's mentioned here.
I mean, I think it's just metaphorical. It's just metaphorically saying that when at the end of days, when God comes through these cataclysmic events, with warfare and storms and fire.
So you don't think the sword is a specific thing where there'll actually be a
sword,
a spiritual sword, basically?
Not a spirit. It means war. And it doesn't mean there's going to be literally a sword.
Yeah.
It's a bit poetic and metaphoric.
Yeah.
That's like white people.
What did you say?
He's saying something about light skin. You're white skin.
Okay, doesn't like me either.
No, he's like an atheist ancestor guy. So he's
And tell me something. In Holland, Geert Wilders. Geert Wilders. Yeah, is he like what is he? Anti-Semitic? He's like
Anti-everything.
He's anti-everything.
I live here for a long time, so I don't really know much about Dutch politics, to be honest. But he's a populist, but he's been very outspoken against Islam.
Right, and that's his platform.
That's the biggest group of immigrants in Holland, of course. So that's where you get a lot of votes from.
One thing I say for him, he's got a cool hairstyle. Boris couldn't have done better.
It's quite something.
Boris.
He hasn't, like, guys like that, they see problems and they address the problems, but they have never a solution.
I mean, his solution is just not going to work. He has a solution. It's just not. You can't. Listen, as a religious person, I know. Like, I live in Israel. There's a lot of tension, religious, secular tension, right? And a lot of the time, the secular are trying to impose a certain solution on the religious. Right? That's the worst thing you can do. You try to impose a solution on the other side, it never works.
But in the bigger picture, anyway, guys like that, they're just populists, and they're everywhere. There's another one now already. You know, Geert Wilders is not so popular anymore. There's another one, right? Won a lot, and he's anti-EU. It's popular at the moment, and he's pro-climate, against climate change and stuff like that. They'll just make up as they go along.
Actually, the next one. So Isaiah 11, where it says about the.
Never get asked this one. I don't think I've ever been asked this one. Go for it.
All right.
No one.
Yeah.
Not very often used.
All right. And he says, "And there shall come forth a rod the stem of Jesse, and a
Right.
branch shall grow out of his roots. So you
That's the Messiah. The Messiah is Davidic. Will be Davidic.
right, okay, so
It doesn't mean it's Jesus though.
right. So because if you go,
Besides, there's no proof that the Messiah, that Jesus was from David. After all, in Judaism we go patrilineal descent, right? And Jesus didn't have a father.
but if we go to verse 4,
Say?
Yes.
Right. And the genealogy contradicts in Matthew and Luke, is it?
yeah, I think Luke's got
Matthew
the
and
other
Luke, they got contradicts, and they try and answer that it's one's Mary, one's Joseph, but they both clearly say Joseph.
But anyway, the other one is I think the numbers don't match for one of
Right,
the
the number
yeah.
generations, it's all a mess. And it contradicts the Old Testament. Some of the earlier genealogy contradicts the Old Testament.
Yeah.
It's not all a mess.
You say? Okay.
And so on verse 4 it says here, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meat of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth,
Right.
and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
Right.
So Revelation
Right, he
explains
says that
swords
uses-
in his
First of all, the word there is never translated as sword. It's shevet, which means a rod. Yeah, it's not sword. Second of all, sword doesn't mean is nothing literal. It just means being using your mouth, verbal power. Right? And the other thing is that okay, Jesus said that. Well, that doesn't prove he actually did it. Right.
Oh, well, it didn't say that's how he was
Revelation
described.
says- okay,
Yeah, he
I mean,
described him.
I can describe myself doing the same thing. I will smite the earth with the rod of my mouth. Am I the Messiah?
Well,
No, I hope not.
well, in here it was
I'll
actually
be
in
a
a
failed
vision.
Messiah. You say?
Yeah, it's a vision.
Well, I
which was
understand, but
sent.
then you,
So,
is it reliable or not? Aye.
but I suppose what I'm kind of saying is that the New Testament has things in it which actually
Reference to Old Testament, correct?
Yeah, so-
It's
so-
a very. Listen, the New Testament was written by Jews, most of it anyway. Right, and that's how Jews cross-reference all the time. Right, when I learn Talmud, it's cross-referencing the whole time. Right, you reference the whole time. So the fact that they reference things, and everything's referenced, doesn't prove that it actually happened. I can also say something and cross-reference it. I told you I can write a book that's called the New Testament and cross-reference it to Jeremiah 31, right? And I can ride on a donkey into Jerusalem, right? And then and cross-reference to Zechariah, and then I can get stabbed, right? Or I can claim that I was stabbed, or whatever. It doesn't prove anything.
and
The thing is,
betrayed
if
by
you
your
ever
friend.
notice that the prophecies that Jesus supposedly fulfilled are all personal prophecies, coming from Bethlehem, virgin birth, being crucified, all these things are all personal about him. None of the big world-changing prophecies were ever fulfilled by him. They all pushed off the second coming. So world peace, universal knowledge of God, the rebuilding of a temple, right? Those things didn't happen. He didn't do those.
So do you think that there's another something? God's going to send something else to explain these things which are
Right,
explained by the
the Messiah will fulfill all of it. And he'll do world peace and universal knowledge of God and everything else.
If